Hi friends, welcome to the channel of World in Microbiology. So what is this channel actually made for? So everyone has started learning classes through online, right? So in this channel, it's actually focusing mainly on the microbiological, biological as well as molecular biological concepts. So starting off with the introduction part, I'm just starting off with DNA replication and I'm just enabling you to learn in just 5 minutes. So how great it would be, and you would never forget this process of DNA replication. And in the upcoming videos, we'll be learning about the process of transcription as well as translation. So what is DNA replication? So DNA, it is the deoxyribonucleic acid. So these are the long polymer of nucleotides. And when we have to see about the process of central dogma, so what is dogma? So we have the DNA which is getting converted to RNA and the RNA which is getting converted to the proteins. So these are by the process of transcription, and then we have the process of translation. So two T's we have. So before the transcription and translation actually proceed, we need a DNA to be replicated, and this process is called as replication. So replication, duplication of one DNA into two daughter DNA molecules. And we know that we actually have the traits from our parents. So parents have it from our great grandparents. So this is how the genetic material is actually passed from one generation to the another. So what are these steps, or what are the criterias actually? So we see that in order for the DNA to become act as a genetic material, it has to possess the following criteria. Initially, it has to have the Initially, it has to possess the property of replication, that has to be able to generate its replica. Then you will have to see that they are chemically and structurally stable. Then they have to provide the scope for the slow changes, that is the mutation which is actually required for the process of evolution. And finally, we have to see that it expresses itself in the form of Mendelian characteristics. So we could see that DNA actually replicates by three methods. One is the semi-conservative method, and the other will be the conservative method, and the third one will be the dispersive method. So semi-conservative method of replication was experimentally verified by Matthew Messelson and the Franklin Stahl in 1958. How was this possible? How did they prove it? So they grew E. coli in a medium containing N15 as the sole nitrogen source. So after that, what did they do? They tried to convert the E. coli into a medium containing N14 as the sole nitrogen source. Then after some generations or after some time, the process of density gradient centrifugation was carried out by using cesium chloride. Density gradient centrifugation. So after this process, they could observe that the DNA was replicated in such a way that newly formed DNA contained N15 as well as the N14. So each DNA molecule actually got replicated into a new DNA where it had both old strand as well as the new strand. So this is the proof of concept that DNA replicates in semi-conservative mode of replication. So now let's move on to the process of stages in the DNA replication. So when we have to see the stages, we have three main stages. One is the initiation, then we have the elongation, and finally we have the process of termination. So in initiation, we could see that origin of replication. So this origin of replication occurs in a particular point, the point where the origin of replication begins. So that point will be called as origin of replication. So in prokaryotes, we could see that there is only one single origin of the replication, whereas in eukaryotes you could see that there are many. So we have different enzymes in the process of DNA replication, and initially starting off with the DNA helix. So we have a DNA molecule, that is we have two strands, right? So this DNA helix actually unwinds it into two individual strands. So these two individual strands, they lead to a formation of Y-shaped structure called as the replication fork. And we have to prevent these two strands from recoiling or joining. So for this, we have the single-stranded binding protein. So this is the process of initiation in a very easier and shorter way. Then proceeding to the process of transcription. Elongation, like like once initiation, elongation is termination is completed, we have transcription. So initiation is over, we have elongation, the DNA polymerase is actually catalyzing the process, and we have the nucleotides addition to the 3-OH end. So it results in the elongation of the strand in the 5' to the 3' direction. So in this picture we could see that we have a leading strand as well as a lagging strand. So the leading strand is actually one which has been synthesized without any discontinuous replications. So that process is called as continuous leading strand, and finally we have the lagging strand which will contain the Okazaki fragments. So addition of nucleotides is called as the process of elongation. Finally we have termination. DNA polymerase 1, it removes all the primer, fill the gaps, and you will have the DNA ligase which catalyzes the joining of the newly formed strands. So we have 4 enzymes or 5 enzymes: DNA helix, polymerase, and then we have the DNA ligase. So these are the important enzymes which are involved in the process of DNA replication, and you will have a newly synthesized DNA molecule. So hope you all have understood about the process of DNA replication. Thank you, and I would request you to subscribe my channel, and whenever I upload a video there will be a notification, and you'll enjoy watching my videos, and it will enable you to learn more quickly and easily. Thank you friends, please do subscribe, share and like my videos. Thank you.